Okay, so we're in Chapter 6, Season 2. It just launched. I'm recording this on day 1. And it is such a mixed season. Not a mixed bag. I would say overall it's pretty good, but like, what the fuck is this? Okay, so first off, I do want to talk about the weapons, and then I'll talk about the actual season. All the new items I can see being good or bad, just depends on what people think in a few days, considering, again, it's literally day 1. I don't know how these weapons are going to settle into the meta. They all seem like they got their own spots. I really like the collateral damage AR, and that's a really funny name. And then we got the new bat item, which I'm very much expecting a nerf for that in the next few hours, because I don't think that was finished. The fact you can just spam its big, like, bash attack with no cooldown, with the only downside is that you get less damage than if you just charge it, that's not a good downside. This thing is going to get nerfed really fast, and I just can inherently feel it in my bones. Even for someone like me who likes the melee items in this game, that's really strong. And, oh my god, the vaults for this season, they don't seem worth it at all. Like, they don't seem like you really don't want to go from what I've seen. They contain, unlike every other vault in the game's history so far, they only contain one blue chest, one normal chest, and then like 500 bars per stack. It's not like you're only going here for like the boss mythic and the boss medallion. It's not worth it. Maybe the train one is, considering that's more mobile and has more stuff to it. But like, I'd say just go for the new truck. It does seem worth it. The train does seem worth it. It's just, I don't know. Like, the loot and the vaults aren't that good this season, and they're gonna need to be increased or something. Oh, and also, in case someone hasn't seen it yet, the giant stone face from last season is still here. And just because I think it's funny, here's what that looks like underneath the map. No, you can't know how I got underneath the map. I did this last season, and I'm going to be making a video about it. I just forgot. Also, in case you haven't noticed, the Big Dill token, God, I hate that name. The Big Dill token actually has a description implying it's a crypto coin, which, why? Just why? At least they're used in a cool way. I will give Epic that. They're used in an actually really cool way. There's these black markets all over the island, which again, I've no doubt you probably noticed by now. And you can get mythics from them. And they're not that crazy. They're just either the ones we saw last season, or like new ones that we haven't seen before, which they're all basically the same. Except for the mammoth pistol. Shockingly, the mammoth pistol actually has 2 ammo instead of 1. Which that's probably actually going to make going to the vault worth it. At least for high competitive players who like the mammoth pistol. And for the last 5 items, I'm gonna start with the pulse scanner, because it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's the pulse scanner. It scans and pulses. I don't know what else you wanted me to say. It's just a really basic and almost generic item. And then we have the Porta Cover. I've said Porta Fort so many times, oh my god. But it's a zero build like item that for some reason in Battle Royale right now that has, as you can see, a little cover that you can fold up and pull down. This is a pretty cool, fun item, and I think if it stays in zero build, it'll be a really interesting meta shakeup. And then we have the biggest letdown of this new season, Thermite. It deals 52 damage and deals knockback. Epic Games, what the hell is this? You want to tell me it can do this to a solid steel vault door? But it does 52 damage? What? You mean to tell me that this crap can do this? can't break shield or set wood structures on fire. What? I'm not even asking for hyperrealism here. I'm just asking for basic consistency. Because even with 3 of them, backed up into a corner, all perfectly aligned, they still can't break shield! And before I bust a blood vessel, let's go into the new Chug Jug. Or at least the Chug Jug rework. The new Chug Jug works much like the shield potion in Medkit. It heals over time, and once it's used, it can actually be used for later. Which is a mechanic we haven't seen yet, but then again, most healing items don't use it other than like Med Mist. But it's actually really strong. It can heal up to 200 health and give you both health and shield, just like it did back in the day. And if you are at literally 1 HP, it still does the full 15 seconds of healing. However, if you are at 50 or so HP, it takes like 5 seconds. Chug is incredibly broken right now, and I'm very much expecting them to nerf it really hard. Especially considering the replacement for Shogun X gives you a guaranteed Chug Chug once you kill him. Along with a medallion that you saw kind of look at there for a second. Whenever you're using shield, and I believe maybe healing, it will give you a shield bubble that only lasts a couple of seconds. But now I can talk about the thing that worries me. This season, more than usual, seems like it's going to have a lot of balancing issues. Like I said just a second ago, the Chug Jug is extremely strong, and the Thermite is extremely weak. And this is going to sound really dumb to anyone else, but this seems like a zero build theme season. Basically what I mean is, there's a lot of areas where you have to go in, dodge and weave pretty much, and in short, they're full of props and stuff like that, full of walls, places you can't build, all that. And when you actually play them, sometimes, and on certain consoles, you have these huge FPS drops. And granted, while it's not often I have those massive FPS drops, you can still see in the background footage, this is really choppy at times. And when I went over there in a real match earlier, I nearly crashed. I went down to like 4 or 5 FPS. It was not playable, and I got basically shotgunned immediately off spawn. You can also see it here and again in the background footage. The bots are actively like running around the thing. My aim's already not that great, so it's like, this is real fun, dude. And I don't believe you can basically build anywhere in this building except the central part. Which is why I'm like, they didn't test this for build mode. That's very obvious to me. And they probably tested it for zero build, especially considering these new items. And we usually get these every few seasons, where it introduced a new either permanent item to zero build or a new temporary item to zero build that changes how that mode plays, but in turn does nothing to the season it's from. Like, for example, what is that new portal, whatever it is, because I already forgot the name, bring to Battle Royale? It really is nothing of note, really. It's why I'm like, every time we have one of these seasons, for example, I guess technically Wrecked, it's usually not very much liked because it changes too much of the game or does too much pointless crap like Vibin, where it feels like nothing happened the entire season. And considering we're at what I'd argue is one of the worst times to have one of these seasons, it makes me worry about what the game's going to look like in Season 3. Especially if those leaks about Season 3 only being 1 month long are true. And as a very last second addition, the OG Pass comes out March 25th. If Epic doesn't manage to clean up the game by then, OG Season 3 may completely wipe out Battle Royale. I don't think it will, But considering Season 3 is usually the one that everyone's been waiting for, yeah, there's a chance that we might get a complete wipeout of Battle Royale. But with that being said, I'm gonna go use the Chug Jug while it's still strong. Might as well, right?